He loves taking care of people.
Doesn't have many conditions for friendship except loyalty.
Got a reputation for getting things done.
He set a great example for everyone in the community to follow.
He's just an angel on earth for all of us.
At the end of the day, Don cares about the individual.
Well, I've known Don for my entire life. He is my uncle.
When I was in second grade at St. Jude's, he came over from PB, and we've been really good friends ever since.
When I first came to town and bought Glenbrook Dodge, he stopped in to see me the first week, and I've known him ever since.
I can't remember when I first met Don because the Schenkels and the Henrys, the families are intertwined and go way, way back.
The Schenkels have been a long supporter of Big Brothers Big Sisters. Way back many years ago, Chris Schenkel, the famous sports announcer, hosted a party at the Auburn Court Duesenberg Museum, which was probably our very first party to raise money. And Don has certainly been a leader. He's just been a great booster of Big Brothers Big Sisters. And I think Frank Zuro, who was director at that time, was happy because his paycheck wouldn't bounce the next week.
And the gospel talked about the Lord being our shepherd. And he defined what the good shepherd really is. Today's society, I think, relates a little bit more to what we're doing as good shepherds to help our brothers and sisters who are not as well off as we are. That's the legacy of Don Schenkel.
We always say that our family had blessings of many advantages. I think Don has worked really hard to pass those gifts on.
And Don was always a very caring individual. He did a lot of communications. He did a lot of PR for the Lincoln Bank at that time, and then going to St. Francis. But all the while involved with the community one way or the other.
My friend, you've done so much for Fort Wayne community. The Children's Zoo, Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, Redeemer Radio, United Way.
Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and some of the health organizations that he's been involved with.
Junior Achievement, Women's Care Center, University of St. Francis.
He's just a warm person, and you can see that right out of the bat. Anything to do with women and children causes, Don was all about that.
You know, he can only sit still for so many seconds. Then he's got to be moving around, or he's got to be moving in this and that way, and he's in and out all the time. But Don's always got to be doing something.
I think through his business career, working at the bank, that propelled him to join many other organizations. It was just a trickle-down effect that spoke to his need to help people.
We decided we ought to start a bank. Don Schenkel's name came up as the logical choice to be president.
Most of the folks said you ought to be in the donut. You ought to be out on DuPont, you ought to be out southwest, you ought to be northeast. That's where the money is in Fort Wayne. Don said no, that bank is going to be where the underserved can have access to it.
Nearly 40 years when I came to town, quite frankly, we were really struggling and just hanging on. And Don went way out on a limb and gave us a loan to literally stay in business, or we wouldn't be here. You know, bankers, they love to go to the guys that already made it. But I'm talking about he looked out for people that were stumbling. And then it puts you in a position to support the community.
He walked his talk. The bank, Berry Street, the old Lincoln Tower, and it served the underserved. And again, I just absolutely respect that.
He's a loving guy, and he's loyal to his family and his community.
Don lives because he cares so much to connect people with other people.
He's the ultimate connector. He's your go-to guy.
I joke about 6 degrees of separation. I always say with Don it's 1.1, because I'm sure there's somebody he doesn't know, but I haven't met him yet.
One of the things I appreciate most about Don Schenkel is that things just happen during the day and I'll get a text. And it'll be just thoughtful words from him, encouraging me, saying a prayer for me.
I think one of Don's greatest attributes is how devout he is in his faith.
Don's daughter passed, and it was a tough way to go. However, at the funeral home, Don spent more time asking people about their family and how their lives were going. Here he is, racked with grief, and yet he spent that time doing that.
Don lost a daughter, and I lost a daughter, and Geez, he blew my phone up the following morning and explained to me and told me how much his faith helped him. And I took a hold of that and used that as a template.
He's very, very close to his family, and he's very, very close to his friends.
My family, my siblings, my cousins, say his relationship with Tim was a beautiful thing to watch. Don is there 100% for us.
Carolyn is, she's the power behind the man, let me tell you.
Carolyn, he loves you. He would hitchhike home to see you, and he ended up transferring to St. Francis so he could be with you.
Don Schenkel would say, if you've got a good relationship with God and a good relationship with your wife, you've got it made.
Congratulations again on your award.
You certainly deserve all the honors and accolades that you're receiving.
Uncle Don, I want to congratulate you on the Don Wolf Award.
You have made a lot of people feel better about themselves. You are everyone's best friend.
You have made a huge impact in the community for so many organizations, and now especially you have made a huge impact on Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we appreciate you.